Okay, I'm not sure if it's played or not, so whatever. Get that off of there. Everyone can hear me properly. All right, let's see.
Hi, Leo. I can't hear you. Hold on.
I don't think the thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
there goes the audio.
all right. Just as well. It's a Monday anyway. Okay.
Well, as Karen Carpenter said, rainy days and Mondays. Oh,
Yep. That's Paul Williams. He wrote the thing. They did just sort of not really because Monday's just another day for him, and he likes the rain. So just sort of like the general feeling people have, and he figured he'd write to that. But
eh,
yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
he wrote quite a few songs with Carpenters.
Yeah, a lot of the Carpenters and other stuff. It's like, he's all around.
Talented guy.
Yeah, still around. And the Muppet they gave him when he was on the Muppet Show,
Yeah.
still sitting on his piano. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. Let's just get in here.
Well, he wrote a lot of songs to the Muppets too. Yeah. He wrote music.
I think Rainbow Connection is one of his. Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he wrote the songs for Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Uh-huh.
Actually, he wrote
Mm-hmm.
"We've Only Just Begun." It was originally for a Kodak commercial, but
Ah, leave it to Karen Carpenter. But,
yeah, but
Okay, let's see.
according to Richard Carpenter, people were just desperate to get a song into their hands.
Yeah.
Paul Paul Williams was. So,
Well, there's one gal, Tori Holub. She is like the reincarnation of Karen Carpenter, voice
oh,
wise.
okay.
Incredible. Unless you put it next to a put the thing through sonic analog, you couldn't tell the difference.
Mm,
I think the only difference is Karen's a little older when she did the song, so there's a little more life experience, and that does come through. Whereas Tori's only like 20, so she hasn't really lived that
yeah.
much.
I was having I was having some trouble with my
Mm-hmm.
laptop earlier.
Oh.
It was stuttering.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, what the hell's going on? And so I tried
Oh.
a bunch of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I went into the NVIDIA overlay
Oh boy.
and
Ah, that's not bad.
I turned that off.
Mm-hmm.
So far, it's helped. Knock on wood.
Mm-hmm.
Where's some wood? Knock on formica.
Mm-hmm.
So
Let's see.
could be also be a problem with
Mm-hmm.
the NVIDIA high definition audio driver.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably disable that
Yeah.
too. I don't use it, so it's
Yeah.
just eating up space.
Not a lot. The X-Men is back now because I wonder if she's just because I did manage to sell the van to this one of the We Buy Any car type, but things are getting $292 out of it,
Okay.
which is probably about $200 more than it's worth. But
Well,
I
they'll
don't
part it
care.
out.
I don't to get the thing. It's like the electrical system has MS. The can't figure out how to get the engine fan working again. So it's like there's always the thing of like it's like a shark. It stays
Yeah.
moving or it's going to blow up. So,
Yeah. Oh god, my brother Dave has similar. My brother Dave bought the last three
mhm.
vans he bought were Chrysler Pacificas or Town and Countries.
This is the Plymouth Voyager
Yeah,
'92,
yeah, it's essentially the same van, but
only through the 11th. I'm going to go ahead. Okay, I'm going to go ahead.
oh, but one day last summer he's like, oh yeah, I got it's got smoke pouring out of the hood. I said, well, pop it
Mm-hmm.
open. I take a look at it and I said, well, first of all, here's one problem: is this
Okay,
hose
I'm going to make it
is
35.
leaking. So it took a screwdriver to tighten it up.
Still
So
short. Damn.
Took a screwdriver, tightened it up, and I looked at the coolant in the reservoir and said, "When was the last time you filled this?" I filled it the other day. Yeah, you overfilled it. Oh no, you got to fill it. No, you don't have to fill it to the top. See this line? You fill it to this line because it expands, and if there's too much in it, it's going to start pushing its way out of the hoses.
Yeah.
Oh no, you don't fill it to the no, you don't fill it to the top. No, not anymore. You don't.
Times have changed. You don't have to adjust the points in your rate and your shirt anymore either. Some cars don't have distributors.
Yeah, ignition. Yeah, ECM flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. If I do that, that'll get me to only to 3,500, and it's still short to get in the bundle. Whoops. Hold on. No, with that.
He said, I don't know if he's just if he's serious or if he's just having fun with me. He said something about, well, yeah, AMC, or I'm like, AMC. AMC hasn't been a company since the late 80s. Nah, really? Yeah, really.
Yeah.
They got absorbed into Chrysler.
I was kind of shocked when I got inside an AMC Eagle one time with the same transmission as a Ford Pinto.
Oh.
So okay, that was interesting. Because I was driving in Pinto, it's like I got the same shifter in my car. What the hell?
Yeah, source them all the same places. Or sometimes they're just, it's all parts.
Yeah.
Every Ford Focus sold used to have a 2.5 liter Volvo engine under the hood.
Okay, Jubilee.
It was a good engine.
I remember they made her a vampire at one point. Like, what the hell are they doing over at that company?
Can somebody make me editor-in-chief at Marvel, please? I guarantee you, I'd have the company turned around within 3 months.
At least give Jim Shooter back the job for a while, okay?
Jim Shooter has a...
Give him a couple of years. Let's see what happens. Right?
Jim Shooter was a hard ass, but he knew what he was doing. He was good. You can't fire anybody anymore, which is the problem.
I saw like John Burns' observation that at a certain point, like in the mid-'80s, Jim Shooter and Julie Short should have switched jobs.
Yeah.
Because Marvel was running. Okay, we're done. We're fine. Jim, leave it alone. Go over to DC. They need fixing. Julie, come over here. Let it run. Because that's what he was doing at DC. He's letting her go and they were going to the toilet.
I still say that if Snowflake and Safe Space floated across Jim Shooter's desk, he'd look at it. You mean to tell me you're telling me I said to go give me some new characters and this is the best you can do? Go back and do it again. If you don't have something better on my desk by 5 o'clock, you're fired.
I have rejected better ideas than this, okay? Just ask Peter, just ask Eastman and Laird. I told them they're out of it, and they made $1 million. You think I'm going to go anywhere near this? You're high.
Is that a true story, really?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a spinoff of Daredevil.
Yeah, I know. I know much. I know.
That was the pitch. It's like, whatever happened to that canister that hit Matt Murdock, it went in the sewer, and this is what happens. Yeah. No, too amateur.
They don't explicitly say the kid was Matt Murdock in that original comic, but it's Matt Murdock.
Yeah,
we all know it's Matt Murdock.
And that was the original pitch. Yeah,
the Foot Clan.
They just had it was going to be the Hand. They just had to file the serial numbers and change a few things, but it was going to be a spinoff of Daredevil.
Splinter, Stick.
Yeah. Let's see. I can pull the trigger and get one of these guys. I don't really care about Weapon X. I got enough Wolverine versions as it is. Yeah.
Cyclops.
People
always said Cyclops was a boring character. I'm like, no, he's pretty. He's got a pretty interesting story.
He is Mr. X-Man. Okay, it's like the rest of the team saying, "What are we going to do at 13? We're out of here." But Scott's saying, "Nope, I'm sticking around."
Yeah. Well, he was an orphan.
Yeah. Yes, he thought he was. Yeah. Found out later. No, your dad's playing Space Pirate right now.
Your dad's Captain Harlock. Essentially. Corsair. Like, yeah.
The Starjammers. Yeah. It would be better if because this pickaxe. They should have made his optic blast the pickaxe.
Mm.
That's what they should have done. Keep the same rate of fire. Just it's going to do it so fast, but as it is, all you got is just that.
No, I watched that. I watched the first episode of that X-Men '97.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so completely unengaging.
I've seen clips. It's like the animation is not as good.
No, it's not, and it's just like it. Here's the thing that Marvel doesn't understand. Marvel TV, at least. Just because you have a 30-minute runtime doesn't mean you have to fill all 30 minutes.
Yeah, you can space it out a bit. Give everyone a chance to breathe.
I mean, those original X-Men cartoons were 22 and a half minutes.
Yeah.
And the longer runtime works against you because a lot of it is just filler.
Yeah. And I guarantee everyone out in the audience right now, that theme song is going through your mind right now. If they bring in the X-Men in the movie and they don't have that music coming in, there will be protests. Okay.
They better.
Yeah. I should at least get psych. Okay.
If I go see the, I'll probably still go see this version of the X-Men.
Yeah.
But if I go sit down in the theater and the lights go down and I see the big MCU logo, and if I don't hear I'm like, okay, this is a waste of time.
I should watch Deadpool movie. There might be a hint of that in there. Wouldn't surprise me.
I think there was.
There might have been, yeah. I still think it's hilarious. Okay, yeah, I do have rewards. So
the
that in there.
The last. Actually, I had this conversation with someone. Actually, what was the last really impactful character Marvel created? And I would have to say it's Deadpool.
Yeah, and even that's gone through a few hands because Rob Liefeld created it, and he practically admitted it was a rip-off of
the guy from DC.
Terminator. Slade Wilson. Yeah.
Slade Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was called Terminator, but then the movie came out. So we can't use that anymore.
Deadshot. That was it.
Deadshot's a different guy.
Okay.
It is a DC, but it's a different character.
Okay. All right. But yeah, it's like I said.
I think it's in Fabian Nishant, whatever, how you pronounce it. That's we started getting the fourth wall breaks and everything on the total whack stuff. Well, I'm pretty sure She-Hulk started breaking fourth wall first with Byrne.
Yeah, 87, 88 was it? Yeah.
And some of that stuff was she's directly calling out Byrne during that thing. What are you trying to do? This is my first issue back. You're sticking me against the mole, man.
There was the joke that She-Hulk's running around in torn shirts. If she had worn the torn shirts all along, she wouldn't have had her comic canceled.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to equip this. Okay, let's bring him back up here.
There you go. Item acquired.
Yeah, we've got Batman running for a while. Let's actually go back in here.
Like I said, I've been playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and that's actually pretty good. It was on sale for like $5.
And he's wearing Batman's cape. That's not good. Oh, thank you. Now's where you got to fix everything. So.
What do you do? Take my cape. Cyclops, take my cape off. Take my cape off now. It's not a tuxedo. You can't rent it.
There we go. And let's go ahead and give him his weird little pickaxe. They won't let him blast things like he should. Now, where is it? Shouldn't be way down here. It should be the Marvel stuff. There you are.
There it is.
And what's the thing? The glider's easy enough. Just give him the Where are you? Yeah,
Look at that.
There's Deadpool's. Nope. No, not quite. We're gonna give him the Blackbird.
There was a Deadpool game.
Yeah,
there you go.
Like every other X-Men character, he gets that. Okay, and let's see.
I remember back in 2000 when
Let's say this before I go any further, so I don't mess it up here.
I remember back in 2000 when the movie came out and the merchandise started to appear on shelves. A lot of people. This is the early days of the internet, and somebody had said, "Oh yeah, they called the Blackbird the X-Jet." I'm like, no, they don't call it the X. They just call it the Jet in the movie.
Yeah. Okay. And the comics is versus Blackbird.
Yeah. Probably because Blackbird is probably a copyrighted name by Lockheed Martin. They probably couldn't use that. But just
okay. Let's lose the. Hold on. He's got his own. Let's see it. No, we don't want the whip either.
Ninja Bat Vanish.
There you are.
I love Archer when they have to make a quick exit. They just yell "smoke bomb" and just run out the room.
I don't think we need the bat signal either.
Smoke bomb.
And okay, what's this one?
Mysterio's magic trick.
No.
I still haven't seen that that Peter Parker Spider-Man movie where they went to London or wherever they went.
I haven't watched any of them actually from the beginning. I think I tried watching first one.
Homecoming wasn't bad. I kind of liked it. I kind of liked the interplay between Peter and Tony Stark.
Yeah,
I really did.
Man, I really only got as far as like with Stan Lee. Hey, you get out of here! I'm gonna come down.
Oh God! I just saw somebody got arrested at the Minecraft movie.
Oh boy.
People guy yelling chicken and at the front chicken and some crowd yelling jockey. Oh, for God's sake! Okay, I gotta admit, this shocked the hell out of me that the Minecraft movie is doing so well.
Yeah, well, I think Andre did pretty nail. They focused on delivering something that appeals to your core audience. You do that, and
I don't doubt it, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not that well versed on Minecraft where I'm going to say, oh yeah, they really got it right. I try to view it because my nephew went to go see it. He's 9 years old.
Yeah.
And he was really excited about going to see it. So I said to myself, okay, if I were, that's if I were a 9-year-old, I'd probably be excited to see it too.
There we go.
And if I were a parent of that 9-year-old, I'd say, okay, this wasn't so bad. My kid's probably going to annoy me with it for the next few years. I'm probably going to have to watch this on streaming over and over and over.
Yeah.
Over and over and over.
Let's get out of the way now.
So, but it's
okay. Let's get Psych in there and have some fun. It's not a question. But Jim Lee. What the hell would the straps all about? They make no sense. In this case, the backpack, it makes a little more sense, but with no back, it's like this doesn't work. Like the comic book I've started working on in '94. Has been in suspended animation ever since. It's kind of takeoff called the Extinguisher, and he's got pouches and things and everywhere. And it's like and X's everywhere. And it's like.
Did I tell you it had
even Cable say that's a bit much?
It's probably been done before, but did I ever tell you the idea for the parody of Superman? Because they always want to make a black Superman. I said, yeah, you're not going far enough. Have him crash land in Harlem. He has the big gold S medallion.
Yeah.
Superman Jones. He drives a huge Cadillac Eldorado.
Oh, they just work out the rights and call him Superfly. Okay. The real Superfly.
His soul is black as kryptonite. It's coming next summer. Superman Jones. Superman Jones. He's keeping the hood safe, one block at a time. Oh God. Yeah, it's horrible. It's probably a racist stereotype. But listen.
We need to make the world safe for racial humor again. Okay, come on.
Oh, let me tell you about
racial jokes are funny.
Let me tell you about the time
when it becomes racism.
I'll tell you about the time I was in improv. When I was doing improv, and this is the problem I have with the improv group is that
here we go.
There were a bunch of theater people trying to be funny, trying to be clever. And I would just go for the. I would just go. I didn't care. I just went for it.
Just locked up. Right.
And so we used to do this bit about. It was structured like a TV show. So okay, we're gonna do. Unfortunately, we are not PBS. We are not HBO. We have to pay the bill somehow with commercials. What products do you want to see advertised on tonight's This Just In? But they would yell out cell phones, video. Someone yells out the United Negro College Fund.
A terrible thing to waste. Okay.
And they're looking at me like, and the two guys were like, they're looking like, oh no. And I just like, oh, I'm going there. Tonight's episode brought to you by the United Negro College Fund. This guy, Eric's this little white Jewish guy. He's starting around. Look at this. Brother can't get a chance around here. Click and it changes channels. And there's like another product, another change. Then it comes back to Eric, United Negro College Fund, because the mind is a terrible thing to wait. And the two guys who run it, Matt and T, this guy, Paul, their chins are on the floor. They're like, and they go, you cannot do that on stage. I said, I know I can't do it on stage. That's why I'm doing it here.
Okay, let's get some gold. There we go. All right.
That was the thing. They were afraid to take it all the way. I'm like, I just didn't care.
No.
No. That was one thing that Tom said about me. He goes, Rob's fearless, man. He just goes right for the joke.
Stand up and improv. You got to be able to win the go for it. Okay.
You got to be. I tell people about stand up and you got to be fearless. You got to be fearless, and you got to there's a certain amount of not caring. I'm like, you have to. I mean, you can't really. Oh my God, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? As Mel Brooks said, there's only two things you don't make fun of: kids dying and the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Everything else is fair game.
Yeah.
If you're not offended by comedy, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, at some point, somebody has to, they're offending somebody, or it's not funny. That's part of what makes it funny.
Yeah.
Even with can't make fun, the kids dying in the Holocaust. Even with the Holocaust, you can come close to making fun of the Nazis. They're very easy to make fun of.
No, that was one of the jokes I did actually about making fun of the Nazis. It says I told a joke about how you don't back in the old day you didn't stray too far in the video store into gay territory. As I told that joke, and I hear from the back, I'm from Germany, and I'm from Germany. We are more open-minded than that. Oh, great. Yeah, it's a bad time when the Germans are telling you to be open-minded.
Yeah. Well, the other great Gabriel Iglesias thing that Rosetta one, but when he was doing a gig in India, actually, and talking about what different, but there were some Germans there, and he was kind of, but he wouldn't making fun of what different races drink. That thing, the message.
Oh yeah, yes.
And then getting on. What about the Germans? And him. He's just going to block it.
Say it, fat man.
The blood of the Jews. That's like everyone's like, ooh, not bad. That's a good one. Okay.
There was a very attractive woman one time in the audience, and I singled her out, and she was a good sport about it. Says, "Oh, you are very." I said to ma'am, you are a very attractive woman. You're very beautiful. And let me tell you something. I said I can make you feel things you've never felt before. Nauseated, repulsed, the need to see a judge for a restraining order.
Okay. So I need to. All right. Well, I made it to one. What? Oh, one or the other. Okay, then fine. All right.
Yeah, I told a variation of that joke. Yeah, she'll be seeing me later tonight. Well, I'll be seeing her as long as I stay 100 feet away from her house, from 100 feet away from her residence.
Yeah.
At all times.
Yeah.
Some people get it all pit. A lot of people are good sports about that, which is great. I like, they're there to laugh. So
there we go.
This is a long time. I did. Oh God, I hadn't done that joke in years.
Yeah.
But one of the things I said about how, because like I said, we used to structure the show, the improv show, with as a news program, and I said, listen, I want to host the show. I want to host. And I think they were afraid to let me, or they were just, I don't know. They were just, they probably were afraid. I'm like, oh God.
We trust him with the control.
Exactly. And I kind of wanted to make it, I wanted to make it like a live stage version of The Daily Show. So we have a desk. We put the desk up on like like a riser so everybody can see it. As said, you come up, hey, welcome to everybody to this just in. Woo, yeah. Ladies drink free. I'm like, are you like me? Do you like the news? Are you, shall we say, a news junkie? Well, then you're in the right place. And the other thing too, I wanted a house band. Just to play us in and out of different segments. And the other thing too is that if people hear, it's one thing, but that you doing a live show, but if people hear live music, it piques their curiosity. Like, hey, what's going on back there? We got to take a look. So, I don't know. That's, to me, it was just, to me, I don't know, they weren't too receptive. Then little did I know, I auditioned my replacement. So, thanks a lot. I say, I was kicked out for being too funny. Just say what Don Rickles said. It was too. I got my show CPO Sharky got canceled because it was too funny.
They've recently put that out on DVD set.
Really?
The staff started binge watching on Hulu. Started watching it. What the CPO Sharky?
It was only out for like half a season.
Yeah, didn't even run the full season. Well, they realize, some of these shows do have fans.
Richard Pryor's show was only like 4 episodes?
Yeah. They had one bit on there though. I remember it's like where it was. They had the Pips, not Gladys Knight and the Pips, just the Pips. And they were doing Midnight Train in Georgia, and they had the 3 guys back there and the mic stand where Gladys would normally be, and they're doing the whole thing. It's like just perfect karaoke track based because there's no lead vocal, and occasionally a close up on the mic stand where you see her, but.
CPO Sharky, American sitcom. Let me see. Hold on. Number of episodes, 30. Really? It got 2 seasons. 37 episodes.
Where the hell? Get out of here.
From December 76 to April 28th of 78. Oh, okay.
Third party.
It was on for a lot longer.
That's it. Mm-hmm. I remember the Tonight Show one time when Johnny'd come back. Don Rickles had guest hosted the previous night, back when they had anybody. And he comes back and his little wooden cigarette case on the desk is broken.
I remember that. Yeah.
And it's, what? Rickles did this? Where they're taping this down the hall. And he goes down the camera, following behind him. Walk onto the set with his tape. What the hell is this all about?
Chico, another loss to come. Chico and the Man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that one when Freddie Prinze took himself out, though, that kind of.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah. From
sorry,
74 to 78.
Not the same thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How many episodes was he on for?
I guess that sure ran for a bit.
Exceptions, references.
Exception. Try it again.
Comac told Cissy Press they first tried working with Cheech and Chong on a show about a Chicano and a Nisei. Comac said he decided to make the show about a young Chicano and a seventh generation wasp after he and the comedy team couldn't get it together. NBC suggested Jack Albertson.
Yeah.
As Ed the Man.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Prinze was discovered by Comac and received recommendation from a friend who saw Prince's appearance on Tonight Show.
Mm-hmm.
Debuted in the top 10, remained in the top 30 for the second season.
Yeah. That was a hit. I remember the time when Tony Orlando did guest spot. Because the two of them were best buds anyway. But
yeah, it was always a thing.
He comes on and man thinks it's Chico. Hey, I'm not there. And then Chico, then both go like, looking good.
After struggling with depression and drug use, Freddie Prinze, himself on January 28, 1977.
Yeah.
Taken off life support and passed the following day at the age of 20. Wow, he was only 22?
Yeah.
Holy cow, that's young.
For the longest time, they never told Freddie Jr. what happened to him. He never really knew. He had to find out pretty much on his own. Or somebody at school mentioned, that, your dad killed us. What? What the hell? And then, okay, yeah. Time for the chat, All right,
after the producers considered canceling the show, but often said tried replacing the character to write Chico out of the script, they had other characters comment that he had gone to visit his father in Mexico. Third season finished out with 3 episodes without Chico, focusing on other characters in the show.
Yeah. Now they brought
a little kid in.
Yeah. They're trying to make a star of this because he was also on the Blood Boat one from one segment.
Yeah. At the end of the episode, Ed is putting Raul to bed and accidentally calls him Chico. Raul corrects him and Ed remarks, "You're all Chicos to me."
Remember, they'll say, "No, you're your own Chico."
Ed eventually adopts Raul, only to have Raul's overprotective aunt, Charo, played by actor singer Charo, come from Spain.
Oh boy! Yeah. She's like a brilliant classical guitarist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen what she's on, like some variety show or actually, okay, this is what you actually do. Okay. And just the flamenco together. Holy crap. Okay, where we go? We're coming in from here. We're going down to Crime City.
Ed finally explains to Raul that Chico passed, but did not say how, putting a measure of closure on the fate of Chico in the series.
Yeah. When you lose your lead like that, it's, I mean, from production standpoint, it's like when a rock band loses their lead singer. It's like,
oh yeah,
you gotta figure what the hell are you gonna do here. You know?
I remember Scatman Crothers was on. This guy, he was really good. Like, I'm
Yeah.
Louis the Garbage Man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Louis the Garbage Man.
Okay, now let's see. I get these burst rifles.
Let me see what.
I'm gonna miss. I want to do it one bullet at a time, not three at a time. You
know?
Hmm. Oh.
So yeah, so video seems to be running a little smoother now that I disabled that setting,
Right.
Which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course you ask, you consult 7 different things, you get 7 different answers, but
oh, geez. What the hell?
Yeah. Someone did say there's been a problem with some of the NVIDIA drivers lately, but
yeah,
probably just made the problem from manageable to worse.
Might explain my problems. I got NVIDIA on this thing. It's,
I'm always one of those people. Whenever I get a PC, I turned all of the unnecessary services off.
Yeah. Well, it's an NVIDIA card. I kind of feel like I kind of have to.
And I get it. Some of those, like some of these companies, like the whatever they are, they have the free trial software on it. And like, yeah, you do that to keep prices down.
Yeah.
They pay for that, and that helps underwrite the cost of the machine. But at the same time, it's just like, like really, I have to go and uninstall all this stuff.
Oh, hello. Better. Damn you!
Oh, it's Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. Yeah, they brought in, collab with Cowboy Bebop. Show up once in a while. Okay, have I gotten any progress on this at this point? Gunned down at these sweat lodges.
Oh God! I keep seeing on the internet. Well, that tells you what about how high the internet the bar is. There's still a lot of people, and I see on Screen Rant, there's a lot of people that are really pushing for an old man Bond movie.
They want Pierce Brosnan back.
They want Pierce Brosnan back, and my thing. Listen, I know, and I've been, whoever you say this to, but I just keep thinking to myself mainly. Do you really want to see old man Bond? Do you really want to see 70-year-old Pierce Brosnan out there just stumbling around?
I don't think Pierce wants to do it anymore. He did his bit, okay?
No. Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he wants to do it anymore. He said he's very flattered.
And no one's asked him really, so it's all fan stuff.
Yeah, he said he's very flattered by the idea, but he's not going to. He really. That's.
Yeah. Yes, I'm talking about as a villain. Or,
he actually did say. I think he did say he'd like to be, come back as a villain,
or maybe as M. have him tell off Bond for a change.
But the idea, old man Bond, I'm like, I don't want to see Bond come back as an old man and be made a fool of.
Yeah.
This is the idea. Like my ideas are worth anything.
Yeah.
The idea I had was just pick up right after Die Another Day and pretend like the Daniel Craig series never happened.
Yeah, maybe. Or like I said, if he, because when Bezos put out who do you see as Bond, the overwhelming was Henry Cavill.
You have Bond.
If you had yourself, but everybody was saying Cavill, hire Cavill, make $1 billion. And I think making a period piece is probably the best way to go. So that way you can have all this stuff. You can have Smersh. You can have Spectre.
You have how you introduce him, and he's on a mission. You see some masked man in a balaclava and a black turtleneck.
Yeah.
Creeping around somewhere, and he's on a mission. And he plants some explosives, and then he stands up with his back turned. He rips the mask off, and then he just does a quick turn to the camera, and it's Henry Cavill. As a way, the same way they introduced Timothy Dalton.
Kinda, yeah. I think we're gonna go that way.
There's a big chase, so there's a daring escape, and then he winds up somewhere with a very, very attractive woman.
Yeah. I think Pierce Brosnan is probably the best conglomeration of just about everything. He could do the tough stuff like Connery. He could do the suave and debonair stuff like Roger Moore.
Yeah. And he's the very handsome kind of.
He's like he's genetically engineered to play Bond, almost.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
He was genetically engineered.
Yeah. And it's like when Roger Moore's coming off playing Simon Templar, but Remington Steele was, not much different than Bond, only a little more working class, street kid who made good in that respect.
I did like the premise of Remington Steele that Stephanie Zimbalist or whoever it was.
Yeah, Stephanie Zimbalist, made the character up, and then he comes up, "Hi, I'm Remington Steele." What?
Yeah, she made it up.
I made him up. Yeah, she did. Prove it. You need someone to be the face of the company. It ain't going to be you.
Yeah, because nobody was going to take her seriously as a private eye.
That's why she created the character in the first place.
Yeah. Oh, she was cute too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that whole thing with it. And finally, okay, we're finally free of this show. It got miserable. Nobody wanted to come back after a while.
Ring.
How's it be like to be the next James Bond? Okay, great. Yeah, Roger Moore is vouched for you personally. Okay, great. Then he, what? He's the new Bond? Hey, let's renew Seal and bank on this. You idiots. I mean, it wasn't that they were trying to kibosh it; they were trying to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
And in doing so, they end up killing it. So moron.
The thinking must have been NBC or somebody at NBC. Oh yeah, he can shoot the Bond movies while he's on hiatus or while he's during the summer on summer break or whatever it is.
That didn't work too well.
No.
Oops. Oh, for God's sakes.
One of the things that Barbara Broccoli said is that whenever they were shooting a Bond movie, just everybody would gather, and it was just the same crew year after year.
Yeah.
It was very much like a family. And she says, I don't think Amazon understood that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Jennifer Salk called the movie's content.
Yeah.
Which really rubbed her the wrong way.
Yeah. I think it kind of dovetails a bit with one of you heard with John Lennon and what broke up the Beatles is boredom.
The kind of the feeling we've done everything.
It's like boredom breeds tension, and it's just sort of point that we're doing it one more time.
There was a made-for-TV movie called John and Yoko Love Story, aired on NBC back in the mid '80s, actually. And there was a scene. It's pretty much starts when John meets Yoko at the Indica Gallery, and they go to and Brian Epstein dies, and they're at Brian's funeral, and they go through the whole thing, the live piece in Toronto, and go to India and everything. But there's a scene like where Paul's throwing out ideas. Well, maybe you could play a show, man. I've already done that.
Yeah.
We've already done that.
It was a real good. I think it was on BritBox or something. But Christopher Eccleston did a thing. Lennon Naked.
Yes, I've seen that. Christopher Eccleston. Yeah, he was very good in that.
Yeah, and much like the description of John Lennon when they did the Two Virgins album for real, it's like, it became evident that he's neither a bodybuilder nor Jewish. Yeah.
There's that. When Al Cap went to go to the bed in for peace, he says, he holds up the cover Two Virgins. The filth. He goes, you think that's filth? He goes, no, I'm against people who think it's filth. John goes, good for you. Yes, you have every right. You have every right to let everybody know you have pubic hair. Al Cap.
Yeah. They're starting to press up for Get Back. Get out of this. All right. And I mean, how Yoko's always there, and Ringo's. No, Yoko's hilarious. She wasn't a problem at all.
From
Linda was a bit of a Budinsky, but
okay. Oh God, Howard Stern said, "Yeah, old Linda wouldn't shut up." Oh my God.
Yeah, half the time Yoko just was sitting there like knitting or whatever.
And they had that little jam session with Yoko.
Yeah, and
Paul, Ringo, and John had that little If George doesn't come back, we'll get Eric Clapton.
Yeah. That's the mistake made when George brought him in for my, while the guitar gently. Oh, he's not bad. We can work with him. Okay. Let's just jump in here.
That red Les Paul that Eric Clapton gave to George was originally owned by Rick Derringer.
Oh.
Yeah. It's one of those things because because the reason why I bought my red Les Paul is because of that one.
Yeah.
And it started out life as a gold top. Then Rick Derringer actually sent it. He actually played it on a Hang On Sloopy. Rick Derringer sent it to the Gibson factory in Kalamazoo to have it refinished. He got it back and then decided he didn't like it for whatever reason. Decides he didn't like it. Something about it changed. So he trades it in at Manny's down on 48th Street, New York. Eric Clapton's on tour with Cream. He goes down to Manny's. He buys the guitar and then gives it to George later. Then in 73, George has it stolen. It turns up in a pawn shop. A guy buys it in L.A. George goes to get it back and has to buy the guy another guitar to replace it.
I just wonder when Eric bought the thing, was he thinking I may have to break up a fight between Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker at some point? Those two hated each other.
I saw Jack Bruce with Ringo's band actually. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ringo's had everybody in the band.
Yeah. I remember a long time ago something, it was like, I think right after John Entwistle died. And some columnist something a little snarky, like, what are you doing now? Hey, look, you're needing a bassist and a drummer. It's like, get Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr and call it the Hoodles. No, I've been trying to nudge a bit. That gal Cena drums, the drum solos. I've been trying to kind of nudge Mona Lisa twins. Say, hey, get in touch with her, because they're doing Beatles. They've kind of made their bread and butter on Beatles covers. In fact, they just did released a video of the version of "We Can Work It Out." Hey, get a hold of the Cena chick, okay? They might have a problem with language-wise because they're Austrian and she's German, so they might be a little bit. But like, she can do. She's done videos about what makes Ringo a great drummer and can mimic him. And Mona and Lisa were the house band at the Cavern for a while. Okay. Well, damn spurt. Yeah. Nope, there's one down here, but. Oh, Jesus. Always when I start trying, that's it. Oh, we're going to lock on here mid-motion. Yeah, they got a real good version of Maxwell's Silver Hammer. All right. Wait for. That was Mount Fuji, I believe, way back then.
Mm.
And then, I don't know. Oh, I heard Mount St. Helens is starting to wake up again.
Oh, no.
I think God is getting ready to punish the state of Washington. All right, at some point, this thing's going to unlock, and I can pick this shit up. Come on. Either it's going to unlock, or it's going to bounce on me back out of the lobby or something. Or I'm going to bounce back to the lobby. One, two, three. Right.
I remember that thing erupted the first time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We were right downwind from that. It,
blew the whole side of the mountain off.
Yeah.
And lava that
was a surprise. They thought it was going to go up. No, the side blew out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got it dusted us way down here in Denver. Everyone was straight down.
Well, I remember the dust carried all the way to the East Coast, I think.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't just Trace. We got nothing. Yep, it's a bit dustier out here. It's like it was appreciable.
I mean, they'd been having earthquakes, and from what I remember,
I think that's what they're picking out.
A series of small eruptions, but they just woke up one morning, kaboom.
Mm-hmm. I remember they've been saying for a while, this man's about to blow, and they had some old guy lived on there. I'm not moving anything. Yeah, and the last they ever saw him.
Guys like, well, I'm so old. What the hell? I'm gonna move. How much more?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you feel bad for him, but
Mm-hmm. It's like, you don't want to leave your cabin? Okay, well, your cabin's going to leave you. And no, the entire side of the mountain just blew up. It was a lunar landscape for miles.
Trees were bent over like matchsticks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. North side of the mountain, couldn't tell anything was wrong. It's like,
And you look at actually on Google Earth, you see it's half the mountain's missing.
Yeah. Nothing. Portland will probably get worse because it's closer and south of it, but. Always with the burst. I hate burst. Okay, I hate burst rifles. Again, I miss it. Like, yeah.
I gotta get something to drink. I'll be right back.
And it locks up on me. Okay. Where are we going here? Let's see. Enter a bank vault. I don't even necessarily have to blow it myself. Just walk into a bank vault. Could already be cleaned out. All right. Okay. Nice map of the island. Burger sushi. This is going on too long. What? Come on. Give me a chance to get out of this, at least. Come on. Whoops. Damn it. Maybe it does that. Yes, this is frustrating here. There we go. Something. Yeah, we're back to the lobby. Okay. All right, one more time.
Okay, and I'm back.
Yeah, we didn't go anywhere.
If you did, I would have worried.
The thing locked up and it just started up. They're not even going to get off the island. We're not even getting on the bus, Marky. You're just stand there, look at the bus stop. Okay, we got really a downtime.
Big old glass of water. I need to drink more water.
I should get that myself, actually. Can we do a little what this guy does? Yeah. There we go. The odds of me doing it in game was probably slimmed down. There we go. Yeah, that's on the Titan AE. No, not Attack on Titan. Collab. He's up there in the corner. Ah. Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, good. I can move. Okay. Get up on the bus and look like you're being imperious here. Okay. All right. Now let's see. Let's find a good vault that I can pop in on here. Oh. Yeah. Okay. We'll have the big house. All right.
Okay, last stop in 31 seconds.
All right.
Everybody off.
Coming up here, and let's just there. Okay.
And Geronimo.
Looking good so far. Actually, I want to get over here anyway, because there's a hidden room that I just learned about. Oh, jeez. All right. I think it's this one.
Hack and slash.
Nope, not this stair. Okay, try the other set of stairs.
Going to see Miss Liza. Go Mississippi. Go see Miss Liza. Go Mississippi. So we came in second Thursday night at trivia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We used the gift card we won the week before, so it was only like $10, $10 a head for.
Oh, okay.
for the night's bill, which was good.
Yeah.
No, it's not too terrible.
You get something out of it.
Yeah, we get something out of it. Yeah, and we won another gift card to the restaurant. Yeah, it's a loss leader. People show up, they order food, and Thursday night. And so
there we go.
The only I don't know if I call this a downside, but one of the downsides is that I'm doing the yeoman share of the work on the answering.
Well, such is life. Yeah. Oh, come on, you twerp. Now, one of these stairs, though, it's like, like an underground layer with a bunch of stuff on it.
Yeah, they had the question. One of the questions was, who was, 1984, who was the Democratic candidate for president? It says, oh, yeah, Walter Mondale.
Yeah.
And, of course, Dave's like, are you sure? I'm like, are you sure? I could have sworn. Like, Dave, it's Walter Mondale.
Yeah.
Trust me. Believe me. Trust me. He got absolutely lambasted that year.
Yeah.
Are you, but I could swear it's like, Dave, it's Mondale.
It was a 49 state landslide, okay? You don't forget shit like that.
That's not the type of thing you forget.
No. All right, now, one of these. I saw the video. They got bumping at the.
But they
got to dig a little more. I don't know.
We actually tied for second, and then us and another team. What the tie-breaking question was: what year was Prince's Kiss released? So, I guessed 1987. Another kid guessed 89 and was like, she says, is that a 7? Yep, that's 7. And you got it.
Yep.
86. You're the closer.
Well, like Tom Jones's version came out in 89, but
yeah. You don't have to watch Dynasty.
Yeah.
They'll have an attitude.
Because he's one of the judges on the UK version of The Voice.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some little break in the action. I guess it's the anniversary of the release of It's Not Unusual.
Oh yeah.
They come up and they and they can you still great? And they started the music and he got up and he cut loose on him.
There is a great Elvis documentary from when he was in rehearsals to start playing Vegas.
Yeah.
It is actually very, very good. It was very good. And he said Elvis left nothing to chance. He studied Tom Jones.
Yeah.
He studied the audience. He wanted to know exactly. He would read the room, or he would be on top of ticket. Okay, what kind of crowd we got tonight? He tailored his act specifically for that crowd.
Well, that's not right.
And I'm watching this, and it's just like, it is just so sad that Elvis became a joke later in his later years.
Okay, somewhere around here.
My father's from Italy. He never really listened to a whole lot of modern music.
Yeah.
But he did say to me one time, Elvis was a cool.
Okay, let's
Elvis, he was a cool.
What am I missing here?
Actually, he did go see Elvis in 1975. Back when he started to become Fat Elvis.
Yeah, I remember watching the live from Hawaii concert live. My folks had gone out for the night, left me on the home, and I don't know where my sister was. So, well, I'm going to watch Elvis. Maybe it's this one. I'm missing something here. No, I'm not getting the burst rifle. Looks like something back over here. Here. What, I can't do the floor? Twerp. Might look at the console exclusive, and I don't have the console. Or somebody faked it all. Let's see. Nothing else I can make it more difficult for anybody else to get in here. Nope. Did those stairs, did those stairs. Can't do that. Tempted to go just dig up that video. What the hell?
Pardon me.
Because there's no other stairs to go from. What the hell? All right. Well, the thermite, at least I'll do the shield. Okay. Plot item for next one. Meantime, I need a car. Get the hell out of Dodge. And what do we got here? A car. Just a perfectly good car. Somebody just went and dumped it. So we'll be leaving. What? What the fuck? That was not nice. All right. Can I do something here? Well, yes. There we go. That takes care of that issue. I have no gold left, but at least I got that out of the way. through the see what's left down here. No one opened the big chest, you idiots. I'll take that. And then I will take that. And I got a dill bit in the bargain too. All right, yeah. I think we'll just... Is that my car you're tearing up down there, you swine? Yeah, it is.
Oh, brother.
All right. All right. Okay, I got 20 gold back. The fortune begins again. Okay. What? What? Oh, lovely. I think I'll just crouch out here and see if I can get away without being shot. Back in a bit.
Okay.
The scanner goes. I'm going to get spotted. All right. Whereabouts? Well, brother.
Whereabouts? Hi, everybody. Is anybody out there? Is anybody out there? How is everybody doing tonight? Yeah, everybody's doing well. I'm doing pretty well. I got 2 cans of tuna. Maybe I'll have that for lunch tomorrow. What did I have for lunch today? Oh, I had some vegetables. And what else I have? I don't remember. Peanut butter. Peanut butter. The dire wolf. The first dire wolf howled in over 10,000 years. Oh. Oh. Yeah, so they cloned the dire wolf. Apparently, extinction is no longer forever.
Another book. Oh, lovely.
Held on during the first dire wolf for 10,000 years. Romulus and Remus, the few extinct animals born. Dire wolves were extinct for over 10,000 years. These wolves were brought back from the no genetic derived from complete dire wolf genome. Also, ancient DNA fossils found in fossils.
I haven't been shot yet. Amazing.
11,000.
Okay. All right. Okay, now can I
So the story has been making the rounds. Scientists have brought back the dire wolf.
Yeah, I saw that.
How do you like that?
Is this something we really want to do, though?
I mean, that's a good question. We can get into the. I mean, animals go extinct for a reason.
Yeah, George Carlin's talking about, not over 90% of all the animals ever listed are extinct. We didn't kill them all.
Yeah. What did cause their extinction? Let me see. Was it man? Like due to combination of factors: extinction of their prey, megafauna like horses, bison, and camels, possibly climate change, making it difficult for them to adapt and survive. Okay.
Okay.
So they quite literally ran out of food at the end of the Ice Age.
Yeah. Just have to get into it. There we go. That's all we need to do. And they already cleaned it out of all the gold.
If you're helping a species to survive, that's one thing.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing. They did have that ethical discussion in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
If I bred a bunch of condors, just because we can doesn't mean we should.
Yeah. You asshole. You cunt. Fortunately, you can't report him for unsportsmanlike conduct. Yeah.
It is a quite remarkable thing, though, that what they're claiming are these wolves.
Yeah.
The dire wolf.
But they're so cute, those little puppies. You know, when they get big, they get really ugly. You know.
I mean,
they're not a good-looking animal when they get old, when they get big.
What's next? The Barbary lion. I mean,
they've been talking about Tasmanian tiger for years.
Oh yeah, Tasmanian tiger, woolly mammoth,
passenger pigeon,
the dodo.
Yeah. One thing that sticks X in our point out is apparently one of the things they do in the dodo is they taste good.
Actually, that's
something I never think of. I never thought of. Actually, because they're rather tasty.
That's actually part of the reason why they went extinct, because they had no fear of man. They'd never seen man before. They now had no fear of man, and the Dutch ate them all.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say hold that pose right in front of the basket. Bam! You know. Not a bright bird. Okay.
No, pretty dumb.
Reason why that the word dodo has become synonymous with stupid. All right.
There was actually on Superman the animated series, they had one in captivity. Like, so Superman was in a zoo somewhere, and they deprived him of sunlight. He was severely weak. He could still fly to somebody. He was severely weak.
Yeah.
And he used what remained his X-ray vision, and he saw something in there, and he's like, "Yeah, you don't want to put me in that enclosure." Oh yeah, throw him in the enclosure. And it was a dodo, but it had a sun lamp. Uh-oh. Actually, did you see the preview for the new Superman?
The sort of extended thing with a robot.
With the robots and
I'm still not exactly.
I'm like, okay, you know what? But one of the things I said, okay, we haven't seen that before, the robots and the Sports of Solitude. Okay, we haven't seen that before. We haven't seen Super Doggo yet. It's Crypto. Okay. He's like,
I don't think they got Crypto right.
Yeah. And he's like jumping on him, wants to play. I'm like, no, no. And that's exactly what a doggo would do.
Yeah. That's not what Crypto would do, because one of the things is that Crypto is also very intelligent.
Yeah.
We frequently saw Crypto's thoughts. He would know better. Okay. And also the wrong breed too. It's like more of a kind of a
more of like a Labrador.
Yeah, more of a big old white Labrador. Not a.
But one of the things is like, okay, but basically I've watched it thinking, okay, what haven't we seen in a Superman movie? We haven't seen. But that's new. That's new.
Yeah.
One of the things that did strike me as odd was that the Daily Planet had a fully staffed newsroom. I'm like, fully staffed newsroom in 2025? Nah.
Yeah. The era where the newspaper is dying by degrees. Also back to they messed up the suit. If you mess up the suit, then I got a suspect over everything else you're doing either.
I find it amazing though that in New York alone, at the turn of the last century, there were 50 newspapers in New York alone.
Now it's down to what, 3?
New York Newsday, New York Times, You have Daily News and the New York Post.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like Denver used to have a whole bunch of newspapers.
What's the
Rocky Mountain News held on the longest, I think.
What's the newspaper in Denver? Denver Post.
Yeah, that's it. No major left in Denver Post. But I've seen reports, back there, the Denver Republican, the Rocky Mountain News was the oldest.
The New Haven used to have two. These the morning edition and the night edition. Journal Courier and the Daily and the New Haven Register.
I remember there was two editions of the Denver Post. Morning and evening.
The New Haven Register used to have its own building, huge building. I imagine where they printed it out of.
Yeah.
And it's a furniture store now. Jordan's Furniture.
I remember the Rocky Mountain News. They built a big old place, thing. And now they tore it down. Now it's a new jail. It's like, after a big old thing, a long-time columnist, Gene Abel. He eventually got sick and was dying, but before he went, they had named the street in front of the place, Gene Abel Way. Whoops! No, keep it that way. Amazing what happens when you aim. Okay. The bullets do not magically find their way to your target. You got to point them. Okay, let's do that. I think part of it, everyone just expects to just jump in the way. Well, I'll just bounce around. I don't bounce around. Everyone just shoots the way around me, and I just stand there. No, not buying it. Home we don't play in the Mexican jumping bean game. Okay.
Was the pilot episode of The Odd Couple? Felix asks Oscar, "What do you do?" "I'm a newspaper sports reporter for the Times." And they changed it to the New York Herald.
Yeah. Was the Herald still around then?
I don't know. Was
there a New York Herald? That's the thing. That's part of the better question.
Let's find out.
New York Herald. No, because the New York Times is going to sue us, so it's make up a paper.
New York Herald was New York Herald. New York Herald was a large distribution newspaper based in New York City that existed between 1835 and 1924.
There we go.
At that point, it was acquired by its smaller rival, the New York Tribune, to form the New York Herald Tribune.
Okay.
So yes, there was a New York Herald, but unfortunately, but Oscar Madison most likely never wrote for it.
Yeah, I remember there was a scene in the movie where Oscar's at a game, probably Mets, and they're down. And the other reporters, it's going. Hey, I've heard about triple play. They can work it out. Gets a phone call. It's Felix. What do you want to do for dinner tonight? And while he's on the phone, a triple play, and Oscar misses it.
Are you crazy?
No, tell me you. Why are you yelling?
Oscar, it was like, Oscar, don't have any ballpark food. I'm making franks and beans. Now I can go for hot dogs and beans. Actually, that's a good idea. I'm gonna have hot dogs and beans.
I'll tell you one thing. I would hope they had the cameras rolling, because for a long time, when Tony Randall started the National Theater, because they realized we did not have a National Theater in this country. So he's like, okay, we're going to start one then. And one of the things they did is a production of The Odd Couple, him and Jack Klugman, on the stage play.
When I
would hope they recorded that somewhere.
Every so often, when I was in Longmont, the community theater they had there was actually putting on a production of The Odd Couple. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see it.
Yeah. One thing when I was in the drama class, and one thing got to dig through their old playbills. It's a vast library of old playbills. And one of them was for the original stage production of The Odd Couple.
Oh, okay.
Walter Matthau and Art Carney played Felix.
Wow.
Well, that's interesting. Also kind of explains it when it came time to do the movie, Walter floated the idea if he wanted to play Felix.
I wouldn't believe Walter.
He saw it as a challenge type of thing. I think it's because he'd done Oscar. He'd been doing Oscar for years. He did it in the movie. Yeah. He did it on the stage.
he was Oscar.
Thankfully, really. He would shout it. No one is going to believe you as Felix. Okay.
I used to tell people that my one acting ambition was to play Oscar Madison in The Odd Couple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And actually, I've had a couple people say, "Yeah, I could see that."
Yeah. Oscar was a bit of a hero of mine as a child.
They did a tribute.
Look around my apartment, you can see I've taken it to extremes. Okay.
When Jack Klugman passed away, the WFAN they did a tribute to him, the New York Sports Minute. I can't remember who did it, but he said the most famous New York sports reporter ever passed away this week.
Oscar Madison.
Oscar Madison. Of course, Oscar wasn't real. He didn't actually write a word, but they said there's no sportscaster or sports reporter alive today who looks in the mirror and doesn't see Oscar staring back at him.
Yeah. Kind of mandatory. You got that Mets cap. It's got to go backwards. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. At this point, I'm not going to level up. Okay. Too far down the tour, just trying to get a game in.
I remember on the original
that's enough.
show, they had Oscar actually had a radio show for one time. Of course, started butting in, as he does.
Let's go ahead and call it at this point.
Worst transition actually from writer to radio guy to Michael Kay. Michael Kay is not very good. Not very. Michael Kay doesn't understand that. Hey, you're on. I'm on television now. People can actually see what's happening.
Yeah. Oh, Walter Winchell. They tried to do a TV show with him. Early days of TV. But it's kind of like now you can see behind the curtain.
Oh, okay.
Because the background is like a teletype. It's just him with the telegraph thing whacking at it with a mallet. Okay, that doesn't quite work on TV though. We can see what you're doing, Walter.
Hello. Hello.
Wow.
How are you?
Tired, stressed.
Just in time, I just ended the Fortnite thing.
You from an undisclosed location?
No, I'm still at my house yet.
Okay.
Till Friday.
Okay.
See, there's the cat being a dummy.
Okay. Being a cat.
No, he was climbing all over me, mushing on me, and got me in the arm here in a couple places.
Oh.
So he's getting his claws trimmed tonight. He's like,
he's gonna love that.
Well, I do it to him every couple of weeks, all of them. Anytime any of them need their claws trimmed, I trim all of them so nobody has an advantage over the others.
Well, that's a good idea.
You see the ears back as soon as I picked him up while saying claws trimmed?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't like that.
We did that already.
I don't like that.
Don't even think it. Panther.
Let's update that. So let's stick your channel in here or what?
Sure. Nah. I don't know if I can stay along or not. I'm working while I do this. Panther, quit being a shit. He's like, but
no,
I'm good at it.
No, I don't like that. You're gonna get the trimmer out, and you're gonna get the clawsies, and I'm gonna be I don't like that.
I need those claws so I have grip on the girls when I'm jumping them. I mean, He purred when I said that.
No.
They cannot be allowed to get away. When I mounted them, I must stay mounted.
Careful about saying things that they take clearly out of context and clip you on, Bob. Panther.
Okay, let's see if I can find that stupid clip.
Look at what I found. He's like, no.
No. Okay, you're not going to get me.
All right. What he's doing.
I know it's coming. You're trying to butter me up.
All right. Let's run out to the.
I love you.
There we go. Now let's.
Are you going to be such a stubborn pain doing this that I'm going to have to bring Steve in here to hold you still?
Yep.
Yes. He's like, of course I am. I'm not letting you cut these without a fight. It's like, I am perfectly fine at doing this. I have trimmed Kitty's claws since I was 4 years old. I have never once hurt a kitty or damaged anything in the claw.
Yeah.
I know exactly how to do it safely.
Yeah, well, the first time everything.
Flirt barrels and a ton of gold.
Shut up. Okay.
He's sitting there going, I don't care. I don't want it done. Right?
All right. Let's see. What did I miss here?
It's just...
We were trying to find this during the game, and I can't.
Wow.
Pretty sure I got like every short staircase in the property, and I still didn't find it.
I was telling Captain Bob that my laptop was having problems with stuttering before. So it was like turning one setting off, turning it back on, turning this setting off, turning it back on.
You know, Panther, you're going to have to let me trim your claws.
Then I finally got into some of the NVIDIA settings. I'm like, okay, that seems to have helped. I hope, at least.
I don't think he agrees. Do you? I am trying like hell. Cannot get a hold of him to do it. He keeps squirming loose.
That's why I'm going to squirm, and you're not going to get me.
And then Steve will come in to bring me dinner, and as soon as we're done eating, I'll have him hold all of you down so I can do it anyways.
No.
Okay, so
I have read that a cat has about the intelligence of a 2-year-old.
And the attitude. Okay, now we're going with that thing.
At least my cats seem to understand more language than most 2-year-olds.
So we're supposed to come in basically where that little gazebo thing is.
I will say I've had cats I thought were dumb enough they could have been below a 2-year-old.
I took out those stairs, so why the hell did
the funny thing about cat intelligence is that cats are not dumber than dogs. They're just less obedient.
Yeah.
They're every bit as devious, every bit as intellectual, every bit as trainable, but they're not as willing to be trained.
They're less willing to please. You know?
Isn't that right, you pain in my ass?
I took
He's curled up in a ball here with his paws underneath him with his teeth open to me like, don't even try. I'll cut you, bitch. I love you, Panther. I'm still trimming your claws.
No, you're not. That's not going to work on me, lady.
You don't yell at me. What in the hell? He's like, when you're threatening my claws, I do. Oh, go to your window. When Steve comes in here, we're doing it anyways.
So how did this not work?
Butt hurt.
Because I went straight to those stairs and nothing. I got with dirt underneath there.
Nothing, just like in between your ears. I mean. Wow. You eat penis.
Anyway. Let's see.
So I've looked over my most common ticks and how often they happen.
Yeah.
I've come to a conclusion what my most ticked word is. Penis.
Okay.
Easily. I mean, by multiples. Most of my most common ticks have the word penis in them.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them's just saying penis over and over.
That's a funny little word, One of them's kind of doing like the Chia Pet, logo, Sorry. Sorry.
But I have a husband who's trying to program extra ticks onto the boobs one. He keeps saying, that's my favorite tick.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, thanks.
At least the subject matter is, yeah.
Oh, no, he loves the tick. He giggles like a schoolboy every time it goes off. Did I mention my husband's a pain in the ass little pervert?
Yeah. And fact of life, it's like.
Then again, my husband is a scrawny little autistic nerd.
Most men are still locked at the age of 12. Okay,
I have a feeling that's what endeared him to you.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we connected first on our cultural personality, but the boobs and the things I'm willing to do with them didn't hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, actually, before me, he thought he wanted a short little skinny girl who was softly spoken.
Boring.
And I was just going to be his friend to talk to while he was looking for girls like that to date.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
Oh my brother Dave thought he had a great stumper of a trivia question.
Oh boy.
Well, what? And then of course it starts out the way all Dave's trivia questions start out. What state? Oh boy. What state has the most Native American reservations? I said, Dave, come on, it's got to be Arizona. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah. You do realize that the whole idea is for people to be able to answer these, not just me.
Okay, and that takes care of season 4 of Lower Decks. And now I know
Except for, and I'm going to say this as gently as I can, you're both actually technically wrong.
Well, the answer he had was Arizona.
The largest number of tribal areas and reservations is officially Alaska, with almost a quarter of the population being native.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
California has about 100. Let me double check Arizona. I knew which one it was, but.
Well, his whole.
Yeah, see, Arizona has 20 reservations. It's actually not that many.
He's still operating under the false pretense of that. Oh yeah, I like trivia questions you can sort of figure out. Like, well, yeah, but there's got to be one answer. I told him. I mean that's not a. And I've told him that's not a trivia question. That's a statistic. Now, a statistic can be a trivia question.
The most reservations and the most natives per population are both Alaska.
Okay.
South Dakota's up there in population percentage being native, although it's severely undercounted in South Dakota, and that's got actual state documentation that shows that, because somehow they claim that Rapid City is 5 to 10% native on every census they do for the city, but the schools are between half to 2/3 native students.
Well, doesn't the number change as more tribes get recognized?
It is actually, yes. Let me see, because I verify. And I have a Native American database I use for this stuff anyways.
Okay.
Because the official U.S. government recognition on American Indian tribes during the last main census, that they were doing with it right at the beginning of COVID, was still just over 500, with about 600 recognized, including Canada. It is now at almost 575 tribes just in the U.S. recognized now. So they are, but there's still hundreds of tribes they won't recognize, and hundreds of places where they stuck them there, but they won't even give them status as a reservation. It's literally shitholes. And There's several of those in South Dakota, which is part of also why the stats are undercounted in that state seriously.
Okay.
Because several of the Brule tribes and parts of these smaller Sioux tribes are not actually recognized, nor have they been given any rights to their land. So there's that.
Okay.
The most land owned by reservations and the most land controlled by the reservations for a state is Oklahoma, with a large portion of the state actually being owned by the reservations.
So this question this quote unquote trivia question has a lot of caveats to it.
Yes. It depends on if you're going for a straight number of reservations and territories, which segment you're looking for, whether it's population number or that. Yes. It's very varied answer depending on which one you're searching for. So it has to be worded very carefully if you use it as a question. But if you use it as a question, just looking for number of reservations, that's Alaska.
Well, like I said, his idea of trivia questions are something that you have to guess for an hour. And I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and guess. Just tell me what the answer is. So, like, you're not trying to trick people. You're not trying to teach them. You're not trying to prove you're smarter than they are. You're trying to test their knowledge.
Okay, so the reason why I said it's technically defined as Alaska is fully listed as a reservation under the federal recognition is technically one, but there's fighting currently to get recognized over 200, and there's over 227 native population segments that are working on recognition in Alaska.
Okay.
Which are actually counted in the statistic of reservations for global information right now, because most of the world outside of the U.S. does count them and qualify them. That's why I said it's actually more complicated than that. But even if that was not true, there are more reservations in California, actually. And that's just because of how many small tribes were out there based on the land and all the intermingling and dealing with the Hispanic and the relocations. So, yeah.
Makes sense.
Now you got the word from the native girl on the nerd culture stuff of obsessing with our culture and our history and all that I do with everything.
It's a better answer than I get from anybody else.
And I realized it's not just that I'm native. There is a definite amount of autistic nerding out that just happened with what I just did. I swear, I'm only semi-autistic girl, right? So there's this survey that a lot of psychologists use in diagnostic work with autism that was created based on the DSM-5. And a lot of psychologists and doctors and specialists use this in testing for it. And there are dozens and dozens and dozens of questions and inquiries about specific reactions you have with interacting with people, language styles, how you adapt stuff. But this is not a little online quiz thing. They do offer it online because of how hard it is to get into line for diagnostics or to get diagnostic because of the wait lists and the costs and stuff. So people who can't get that can at least figure out if they really are or if they just thought they were stuff, And so I did this a while back because, I had doctors telling me I was autistic when I was 11, and I refused to get the diagnostic then because of personal reasons. So it's like, let's figure this out.
Yeah.
So I did this, and there's like 4 or 5 of these long quizzes on the site that go to this. Each one of them has number breakdown for scoring on it, where every answer you give has specific score based on specific answers. And the main quiz to it that they have for this, which the doctors will give you in the offices a lot. If you do this, it can test anywhere from 5 points to 240. And their information is basically that if you're in 70 to 90, you're considered basically on the borderline of you could be. Let's do the rest of the quizzes and testing. If you're over 90, you're autistic.
Okay.
So I did this test to see. I answered as honest as I could. I looked at the different questions and I researched, went over my past and answered them. And I got 230 out of 240. Yeah.
So in a way, you kind of passed with flying colors.
Yeah. And then I sat there looking at it going, did the test just tell me I'm super autistic? And I said that to one of my friends and he went, I could have fucking told you that easier than that.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks. Fucking hell. Yes, there are a lot of issues with people trying to self-diagnose with a lot of issues. What they've found is that statistic is much less so when it comes to autism, because the people who are self-diagnosing usually are the people who've been obsessed with it and trying to get diagnosis for years and have books and books and books and notebooks and documents and folders full of research and information and data from psychologists and studies on autism and stuff that they've collabed to try to figure out who the hell they are. So it's not, there are people who will watch like my own TikTok stuff or online videos and go, well, I connect to that condition. That's not common with autism. And they found that statistic is very minute in autistic people, both officially and unofficially diagnosed. In other words, the people who go, I'm autistic, usually are extremely autistic. But there's more issue with that crossover with other things. ADHD, ADD are two of the more ones that people are more likely to call themselves without actually understanding what it is. That it's not just the brain behaviors, because the hyperactivity, the inability to focus, all of those things can exist in multiple conditions. What makes it ADHD is a very specific neurotype passageway in your brain. And that neurotype passageway in your brain creates adverse or backwards reactions to stimulants, which is why stimulants and things like basically speed and stuff is what slows them down, helps them focus, because our brains counter-react to stimulation.
And you get another drink.
And so that's why for a lot of us with it, we use caffeine to help us sleep. And in fact, that's one of the big warning signs doctors are told to look for in diagnosing correctly is how does our body react to caffeine? Because it's neurotype in the brain chemistry. A lot of people go, well, I can't focus. I'm really hyper. I can't. Okay, but all of the traits in it can be held by other neurological conditions, neurotypes, or mental health conditions. That's why you have to look for the chemical reaction as well, you know? So it's like there's definitely ones where there's more issue with fakes. It's like the whole thing with dealing with Tourette's. It's like, have there been a few fakes? Yeah. Have they been very publicly outed by their own families? Yeah. Do most people who want to fake something fake Tourette's? No, it's really embarrassing. No, it's really embarrassing. And it's actually really physically painful. And the thing is, if you were to sit and...
It's easier than to fake.
It's not easy to fake, especially if you're talking to people very long. First of all...
Easier things to fake.
We're not going to sit there and tick every moment of the day. That's the one that they're always trying to tell us is proof that it's fake. It's like, that's like telling somebody with epilepsy, well, you're not having a seizure right now. That don't prove shit.
That's epilepsy.
But I'm saying as a comparison, it's like we're not gonna be having it happen every moment of the day. There's waning and waxing tics. That's a very big thing with it. And I'm actually not that ticky tonight, if you can't tell. Momentary, but not overtly over the top. But if you're actually on streams or in groups or interacting with people, try faking spasms, head twitches, and random outbursts for more than 5 minutes and have it not cause physical pain or stress. Do they understand how much it hurts to have your head constantly bob and shit like that? So it's like, they don't get it.
I don't know.
So it's like, I don't know what these people think would be the great usage of faking things like that, because it's painful. That's the thing they don't understand. When your head twitches and ticks and spasms, when you have leg tremors and spasms, and those kinds of issues all the time, it hurts. It causes pain. It causes nerve pain. It causes headaches. It causes stress. This isn't fun. Okay, so when you have crazy tics or you blurt something out that you find silly or crazy, sometimes you can laugh at it. That doesn't mean it's fun to have. And that's why I wonder about people who are so determined to try to fake claim everybody online. The one I'm noticing constantly is these people going around going, all these people that are just self-diagnosing, or these people who think they have these things, they keep calling neurological conditions mental health disorders. And while they're telling other people you're claiming this about this condition and that's false information, it's like you're literally claiming it's a condition that it's literally not. That's not even related to. And you're trying to tell them they don't know what they're talking about?
Yeah, your degree in neurology and
the amount of people who keep calling Tourette's, ADHD, autism, and all that mental health conditions.
No.
It's like, no.
This is not near. It's like my situation. I think we finally nailed down because the doctor reached put me on something to try and drop my triglycerides down, and said it kind of made them spike. And she said, "No, well, if you had a stroke," she's like, "Well, I guess we confirm I didn't have a stroke." So,
Panther.
And it kind of goes my spine.
Why did you let him out? I was trying to cut his claws.
It's like my nerve issues. I think it's not neurological; it's mechanical.
What's wrong with you, Steve? Why did you let him out?
Where'd he go?
He got away.
Steve opened the door and Panther ran like hell to hide.
You're not getting my claws, Brady. No.
It's like not everything's a mental condition. Sometimes there's something mechanically wrong.
Sometimes we're just wired differently, and it's not even necessarily that it's wrong. We're just like other groups where we have similar both high and low IQs, everything else. We just function at a different wavelength. I've been trying to cut his claws repeatedly, and he keeps tearing away and hiding, so I needed you to hold him still.
That's right. I don't want my claws cut.
No.
The problem is right now he knows he's lost because he knows that we're here.
Help, I'm being repressed.
Help.
Bloody peasant. Oh, get it right. You see me impressing me?
That's the giveaway, isn't it?
This is what I'm on about.
Is it blasphemous to watch The Life of Brian on Easter Sunday?
No.
I would say borderline.
It's...
One sec.
Kind of when John Cleese was doing the rounds.
Here, hold that. I gotta help something a sec.
Dick Cavett had an interview show on PBS. Was what they're against is organized religion is the problem they had, because it's one of the reasons why you never saw Jesus in the movie except for one bit of the Sermon on the Mountain. Very quickly zoomed way back, because comedy is all about stupidity and ignorance, just arrogance, or whatever, and Christ. Very intelligent, rational, and it just killed the comedy. It's like, because they bounced around some ideas of, Brian being the 13th, disciple, and just, kept showing up the wrong spot. They said they're going to meet the garden. He went to a place called the Garden. It wasn't right. So first thing to do is just get him away from Jesus. So we're not ridiculing Jesus. We're ridiculing the religion that built up around him.
There you go, Panther. Was that so terrible?
I say you're the Messiah. I know I've followed enough of them.
I love you, Panther. Can I have a hug?
No. No.
Wow.
You gotta cut my claws, and I don't matter you.
I've been molested. You damaged my catness. My catulinity.
Next. Oh, this one's harder to deal with.
Oh,
Yep, let him in.
the gnome has arrived.
The gnome.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever it de-authenticates on your system and you're logging into everything, and two-way authentication. Oh man.
Hello, Lydian.
Hello.
I'd like to remind those watching now, since we have a site.
I'm offending the kitties.
That the crawl is not for decoration. It is encouraging. Yes, please.
Baby girl.
No,
She's like,
no.
My diva powers. Move your hand, hon.
How else am I to hold off Panther?
Panther had his trimmed. You get yours trimmed. Stop jerking around like you're freaking beach fish before it ends up hurting you, you idiot. Let me check her back paws. Come here, girl.
No.
Quit kicking me.
No. No. No.
How you doing there, Lydian?
I need to show off my little toy here, so I need to turn the lights off.
I'm doing all right.
What the hell? Where's the back of it? Crunchy.
Nothing is hurt here. I'm verifying it now. I've never heard a claw before. There's no injury on these now. You're just being melodramatic.
I'm not being melodramatic.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, no, I'm not. Oh.
Hey, baby girl. Why do we nickname you Diva?
Because...
Done.
I'll get my hobo bag.
I love you. Keep it up, girl.
Oh. Take that and that and that.
You know, when you act like this, you just remind me why I don't want you to have long claws.
Somebody call the AKLU. The American Kitty Liberty Union.
I'm going to call the ASPCA, the Humane Society, and I'm going to get Jack.
And here's the fun one.
And
which one is that?
Ornery.
Plasma ball.
That's right. I'm ornery.
Got it at clearance at Walmart for $11.
That's...
Ornery.
That's actually not that.
Gaze into the world's power.
You're okay.
No, I'm not. I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't like it.
You are almost 10 years old, and I've been doing this to you since you were a kitten.
No, you haven't.
You've been doing it long enough. It's time to give it up.
It's been 10 years too long then. Oh.
Oh, ornery.
And scary. And get the scissors.
I'm declaring a moratorium. Enough.
She seems to be getting more chonky every time I see her.
Chucky.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Wow. What a kick.
That's right. There's more where that came from. There better be some Tweetos in this for me.
Hey, hon, you know those things we got at the store? Bring me that little box I got at the store tonight.
I don't like you anymore, Wayne.
Get her some CB. She's getting chunky.
She's like, I'm offended.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, Ornery.
Don't try to butter me up, Wayne. I'm traumatized. Oh.
Yeah, but I got something for me to buy their love back tonight.
No.
And I'm telling you, these cats have very cheap love.
Mm-hmm.
Just give them more food.
Little furry horse. That's what they are.
Let me put it this way. They're little furry whores, and they're not exactly high-paid escorts.
No.
Ornery just gave me this look like, what the hell does that mean?
Oh, gobble the meat stick for free.
Means I love you, Ornery.
Even though you're a chonker.
I'm finally getting rid of that van tomorrow.
Oh.
Getting $292 for it.
Close the door. Come on in. Hold on. Go over there a minute. I got something to buy their love back tonight.
There's some Tweetos. Make you want Tweetos. And you want your belly wubs. You don't know what you put me through, Wadey.
You know, Rob, that voice is incredibly annoying.
That's the point. It's not unlike the voice that Jessie does when she's doing shit pancake or whatever.
I hate the voice Jessie does at shit pancake, and I've told her that to her face. And I've been in the same room with her while she was doing it.
Mm-hmm. With shit pancake.
Yep. Okay. Chicken with scallops or tuna with crab? Let's try chicken with scallops. That's what seems her.
That reminds me. I picked up tuna at Aldi this weekend.
Get it.
So there is a tuna sandwich in my future.
Mm-hmm.
Come here.
Nom, 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 nom,
Yum, yum, yum. Almost makes it worthwhile. She's like,
I'm still holding the grudge, but no.
It's like, yeah, well, it's a start.
Mm-hmm.
Kitties have this. Their taste buds are already very sensitive, and for them, tuna is like a taste explosion.
Oh yeah.
And her favorite meats are chicken and tuna. So I gotta get the last little bit out of the tube, girl. Hurry up.
One of the reasons we got a cat was because they're tired of dumping all this tuna juice down the drain. Come on.
I imagine tuna is for cats what chocolate is for humans.
Probably.
They actually scientifically broke it down. The chocolate stimulates the pleasure centers in the brain.
She chugged that whole tube of food.
Oh, she is hungry.
Yeah.
Because these are not the little treat tubes. These are the ones that are actually like an actual tub of food in them.
Well, being molested
they're
having
big,
the cause.
they're big ones here. Look at the size of these things.
Yeah.
And she sucked the whole thing down. It's gone.
Ornery.
That's why she's
like, that was good. Wait. Now she's trying to get another tub out of me. She's pawing my leg and licking her lips and staring at the box.
No.
Nope.
Like, come on, give me another. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Come on up, girl. She's just going to rub around my legs now and purr.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a number of cases you've told that you've come back home and you see Ornery like in the snacks or destroyed something that she starts like eating.
Yeah. Maybe they'll love me.
A lot of cats' little meal tubs are between half an ounce to an ounce.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the little tubes for kitty treats like this, the liquid treat meats, are like a tenth to a quarter of an ounce. These are a full half ounce the size of a small cat tub.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So she literally just sucked down a small meal.
She wants more.
Of course she wants.
Yeah, she does. She's pacing around my legs, crying. She's like, "Come on, that was really good." I need to give them to the other kitties too. I did it to them too.
Mm-hmm.
Ornery. Ornery, for crap's sakes, cat. She's like,
drugs in that meal.
could you imagine? Pop one of these open. Just open it up so a little air goes into it. Drop a little bit of her CBD in it. Squish it, and then start feeding her.
Oh God.
Gee.
Tuna
Yeah.
is like a drug for cats.
If you had like a little kitty bongs.
Hey man.
You got to admit, I do take good care of my little fuzzy brats.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
So how have you been tonight, Gnome Face? What all have you been doing? Wink, wink.
Not much. No, not that.
Captain Asian Dick. Wow.
How y'all been doing?
Well.
That's him changing the subject after that tick.
Hanging in there.
Well, let's see. Take a look at what my channel's doing these days, and actually, holding surprisingly steady now. Doing the usual gain 3, dues 2. It's actually. Let's see. Let's take a look here.
So as I was starting to say, is I will be leaving Friday morning, and I will not be back till sometime in June.
Okay.
Okay.
That's quite a while.
I can on occasion stream when I'm at Mom's place, but I can't guarantee it's going to happen.
Oh,
it depends because life is busy when I'm over there.
This one.
Plus, the last thing I need is another stream with my mother.
Oh boy. But she was fun.
Yeah, you sat there the whole time through that stream going, "This explains so much."
Yes, this is where she gets it. Why do I keep doing these videos on this? Well, because here it pays. Okay. These do rack up some money after a while.
Anyway, I don't know what my plan tonight is. I've been sorting and editing and working, and I did get a little time out. My blood sugar has been a bitch today. I've barely eaten anything, so I'm kind of moody. Gnome.
Yes.
I'm moody. Make me feel better.
Okay, I'm going to take this meeting that just got paid out because it was about close to 19 before.
I'm moody. Make me feel better. What would you like your gnome to do?
Cheer me up. Be entertaining, you dumb fuck.
What?
Do a dance. Do something magical. You're supposed to be a gnome.
I love you, gnome face fucker. I mean, wow.
When a kid actually, when I was at the minor league ballpark pouring beer one summer, kid comes up to me. He must have been like maybe 15, 16 years old. Yo, man, give me $1. I said, yo, man, give me $1. No, fuck you. I'm not giving you $1. Said, come on, man. Tell me a joke. Do a dance. I got to get a little value for my money.
What?
And he just stood at me like, what the hell? I didn't expect that answer.
Okay.
That's kind of crazy.
How
was that,
Another kid asked me, how much are the peanuts? I said, they're $2 a bag. Oh, can I have them for free? Yeah, you give me $2, you can have them for free. He literally, I don't know, can I have them for free?
Right.
Like, what the hell?
Where are these kids coming from with this shit? I'm like,
it's not how this works, guys.
no. You asked how much. I told you how much worth. Did it say free? No.
I was like shocked. Like, can I have with a complete straight face? Can I have them for free?
What part of $2 you didn't understand?
Blame the education system.
And blame the parents. They're just beyond.
Well, I was going to say clearly they can't do basic math
or simple comprehension.
Yeah, 2 minus 0 equals no.
Oh, and I got into an argument with somebody who tried to tell me that they can't be sexist to women. I was born female. It's like, great. That doesn't mean shit. Except for you bought into all the hype crap that's going on right now.
Okay, let's.
It's like, I'm supposed to be impressed after you said a bunch of stupid sexist shit about women. You're going to go, but I was born with a vagina. It's like, I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
How about you take that vagina and you know, never mind. I'm not going to say
Yeah.
that.
Fill it with something sharp.
Sideways and let it be rusty. Anyway,
What?
You know.
And
see if we can find a decent karaoke track for Ricky Lee Jones tune.
Is it bad if I said that I spent most of this morning trolling the shit out of a bunch of dumb fucks and then screenshotting it and sharing it to a bunch of my mom's friends so that her and her friends could laugh at it?
I don't know.
Oh, we were having a great time.
At the expense of others.
At the expense of others who were bigoted sacks of shit who were being assholes to people.
Why can't I find what the lyrics are?
It's not like I'm sitting there trolling nice people. I was trolling other trolls. That's a public service. See, I've never pretended that I'm a sweet, innocent angel, except for when I'm actually being full of shit and just toying with you.
So,
I've never intentionally and sincerely said I'm innocent.
Statistically, you say that line quite often then. So
I've
then are
told
you
you
saying that
every
you're
time
often
that
full of shit? By what we say.
Look at
I
it
only
this
say that
way.
line.
Even being albino did not stop my eyes from coming out this blackish brown. My full of shit cup runneth over. I mean, we used to tell Dad, of course you're full of shit. Look at your hair and your eyes and your... And Mom would sit there, knock it off! Dad would just laugh and go, you're right. It's like, no shame. Dad taught me to be sarcastic and moody and make people cringe. And he was really good at it.
Was he now?
And then Bob has seen my mother, so has Lydia. Do you think she brought out the best, most wholesome side of me? Lydia's sitting there like, I don't know if I want to say anything right now.
I'd rather not.
Chicken shit. Wow. You're a pussy.
Listen, bowling ballhead. We know where this goes.
Up your anus. Suck it, slut.
I think this is going to be one of those that some assembly required.
You know, when you say dumb shit like that, it just triggers my tics to insult you more.
Oh.
We've been through this enough, Lydia, and why do you think this is going to turn out any different?
Only thing you're doing is giving her more practice. You know.
My mother keeps saying that me and my ticks are her greatest entertainment center, and that she needs more entertainment in her house for a while.
Let's see.
To those who think that this is just online here, I guarantee you my mom will happily tell you that I have ticks and that she finds them greatly entertaining. And that I can test times that I've been in her car where she sat there setting them off so she could laugh at them on the way home. So she was more entertained while waiting to get home. My mom might be a little bit evil, but she's honest. Besides, Lydia, it doesn't mean as much when you call me bowling ball head.
Because you didn't have to pass that bowling ball head through a cervix.
Ooh.
My mom, I am 41 years old, and I cannot recall a time in my life I've been around my mother where she hasn't at least one time pointed out that I had to give birth to that giant Indian bowling ball head with no soft spot. And nice, stupid native hair growing, so it felt like a Brillo pad. Really, Mom? Really? And I always look at her and go, and whose fault is that? I didn't make you like brown boys, did I?
Oh.
I didn't say go marry the native guy with a giant Indian bowling ball head and have his kids.
Yeah.
I kind of think she put herself in that position.
This is entirely self-inflicted, yeah.
And Rob's just sitting here going, I'm not so sure about this right now. Let's put it this way, Bob, you were here for that stream. Has my mother shamed one bit about any of that?
Like I said, the most often, yep, this is where she gets it. All has become clear now.
Every time you said this explains so much, it egged Mom up more, and she'd sing more Dr. Demento songs and bounce around making jokes about us, and all it did was egg her on, didn't it?
That thing, the two of you singing the same song in harmony. Okay.
You don't have to look at pictures on the radio. On the radio.
Me and my mom were sitting on stream together singing things like Viagra in the Water, Masochism Tango, and stuff in harmony.
Yeah.
I remember the coolest thing I ever saw talk about Viagra. Somebody actually had a Viagra racing team jacket. And I said to him, dude, where did you get that? Because that is awesome beyond words.
But what does it tell you that we sat singing that stuff together in unison?
That your mom is very open-minded.
In some ways, and in some ways, she's a little church mom. Or as she talks about it, I'm the sweet. She describes herself as a sweet, loving grandmother who's also a hell-raising psycho biker bitch. And when I'm not pissed off and raging at people, I also bake cookies and shit.
Now I want cookies.
I should make some cookies.
And she bakes a lot for people.
Now I got a big old tube of Toll House. I need to get that taken care of before it gets too weird.
My mom used to make the Christmas cookies every year, and I used to go bring a big plate of them over to my neighbor. And she'd be just Christmas Eve. She'd be waiting for the knock at the door. Wait, and she got the knock. She got the knock on the door. That's when she knew the good stuff had arrived.
Yeah.
My mom always baked, but we had a neighbor when I was doing the paper routes who loved to spoil me. Because I was the only person besides her that her Siamese cat adored. So she liked me anyways. She got the paper so I'd come by and visit and drop it off to her. And then every time I had to collect the bill or get her to fill things out or anything, every time I was there every couple weeks doing this stuff, I'd show up and she'd have like this whole thing of cookies baked up for my family and me and all this other stuff and give them to me with it. Sweetest woman. It's like, and I came home with it. It had this long note about how sweet and wonderful of a child you are. And I showed my mom and she went, how the hell did you snow her that hard? I was like, Mom!
Oh.
There was no that's nice that she feels that way. It's nice that you and her can connect and hang out with the kitty and stuff. It was no. How the hell did you snow her that much? It's like
who the hell is she talking about? Because it's not you.
It's like
clearly she means somebody
Mom.
else.
And for somebody to this thing and at least one of my lava lamps in the same shot, just to.
I came to say hello,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm gonna say good night.
How about I do want to talk to you about a couple things in the plans I'm trying to make, so I'll dip off the stream for now so I can talk to you for a few minutes in the other link, okay?
Okay.
Okay. I'll be right over.
If they can stay conscious long enough.
His brain's already dead. He'll be fine.
Oh.
I'll be back, boys. It's gonna be a few.
I gotta work this into more stuff here. And that done.
So yeah, see
eBay.
Budweiser, they sent cans of beer to the goalies that weren't scored on by Alex Ovechkin. Pretty short list.
Oh.
I don't know. There's something rubs me the wrong way that Alex Ovechkin beat that record. It just really does.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, good for him, but just like I thought that was going to be one that was going to stand for a lot longer.
I'm still waiting for Didn't somebody finally break the Dolphins thing about going undefeated all the way to the Super Bowl?
No.
Still waiting for somebody to break that because I keep tired of seeing what's left of the 72 Dolphins. Busting up the champagne the second somebody loses. You smug little shit.
There was that ad that right after the Super Bowl that the 72 Dolphins, they're in Miami, they're at the retirement home.
Yeah.
Mercury Morris gets a package in the mail. He goes, dear Dolphins, you can keep this one for one more year. Signed, New York Giants. And the crowd in the crowd along the parade route chanting 18-1, which was priceless. Oh God, that was great. 18-1, 18-1.
Yeah. Just to say, the Dolphins. Yeah, guys, when you did that, it was a 12-game season. Okay. Even going all the way to this, winning the playoffs and go Super Bowl, you still didn't play an entire modern season. Okay,
it's a 20 game. It would be a 20 game. It'd be 20-0 right now.
Yeah,
because they added a game. Yeah, 17 game season now.
I don't think there was a wild card back in '72.
No, just the division winners. Super Bowl was over by the middle of January.
Yeah.
Football was that. Now they dragged it out another month.
Football. I mean, baseball's gotten just as bad.
And they went at the idea of this. If you want really to if you don't want the baseball season to run into November, then you got to start playing some double headers.
I think also, here's an idea. How about just stop an interleague play?
Yeah. No more interleague play.
Get rid of that. That'll chop a bunch of things off there.
I hate the idea of interleague play. I really do.
Just save it for the All-Star break, All-Star game, and the playoffs.
The reason why
the series,
the World Series meant something is because the teams didn't face each other during the regular season.
Yeah. Just keep it like preseason. Because actually, there's one thing when. I mean, granted, it was during a strike year, but got the really good seats fairly down low. Is the replacement Rockies against the replacement Yankees. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's see a few different ball games with my dad over the years. One of them. Somehow I got box seats to a Bears game against, I think they're playing Oklahoma City. It was like right down behind home plate.
God, Coors Field was so nice when I went there. Oh God, I did manage to go to a game there.
Oh
Coors,
yeah.
Coors Field is such a great place to see a game. It really is. Saw the Rockies and the Reds.
Now they pulled at the stop, and they got HOK. That's an HOK built stadium. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Was that one line of seats? Years, yeah.
There's that one line of seats up on the upper deck, which is green.
That's 1 mile high, right there.
That's 1 mile high. And I told him, because my brother, my older brother, actually, he had some health issues, and he's recovering now, which is nice. Yeah. And he really wants to go to a game somewhere.
Yeah.
I said, Dean, go see the Pirates. Tickets are easy to get because all the fans of Pittsburgh have boycotted the Pirates.
Yeah.
They've been bad for a generation.
Yeah.
And I told him, listen, if you're willing to go all out, and I told him, if you're willing to go to Denver, go to Mile High, go to Coors Field to see a game. I mean, I imagine there's a hotel near the field, near the ballpark.
There's not far. Well, it's a downtown ballpark, so it's like, there's parking, but it's like you're better off taking the bus or a cab.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably get an Uber or a bus or a cab somewhere, but
let's treat it like you're going to Yankee Stadium again.
Yeah. Well, actually, now Yankee Stadium, they have what they call the Yankee Clipper, which runs on Metro North, and then near the ballpark, they divert the train off the track, and they have a special station at Yankee Stadium for that.
I think light rail does go by Coors Field.
Yeah,
I think it's the E line.
But I'm trying to. I made the case for him. So let's go to a game at Coors Field if you really. I mean, yeah. Oh well, yeah. I said no. Oh well, you said if you just talk about it and you hem and haw, you're never gonna go. Buy the tickets. Commit yourself.
Because they made a point of making this. This is a ballpark. This is an old style ballpark. I mean, it's built like it's been there for 100 years.
It's fantastic. It's a little price. Some of the stuff's a little pricey, but
but it's like we're invoking the image, the spirit of Ebbets Field and other things. Now it's like all it's at the Ebbets Field is one wall of a condo building. It's like one piece. This is what's left of Ebbets Field.
Like I said, that's probably one of
that was a weird dimension stadium too. It's like Mile High wasn't. This was like.
It's great. It's a great place. It's really nice.
Fly ball to right field is like that's out. It's out of there. It's like the ball boy could hit it out there.
Yeah, the first season that the Rockies were in the league, we said, "Oh yeah, ball's gonna be flying out of that place."
Yeah.
Actually, they've all adjusted now. So
yeah, well, that humidor, I guess they get those balls. But again, that was why the Dodgers, when Tommy was still new, because he played with the Bears.
Yeah.
So he knew. Yeah. Okay, guys, they're gonna fly you. Don't freak out. Okay, just keep it down. Here's how you do it. I mean, not that his record was all that great, but like. I think he was 0-4 with the Bears, but still.
There was a guy years and years ago on Letterman. He actually was one of those guys. He had these obscure facts that Letterman used to bring on.
Yeah.
And he said that if you heat a baseball, it will take a baseball, put it in the microwave, put it in the oven, heat it up. It will go 2% farther.
Yeah.
If you put it in a refrigerator, it won't go nearly as far.
Yeah.
It'll become more dense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said because the thing about that is that there's no lasting evidence that you doctored the ball. That's the real crime. Yeah. There's no lasting evidence.
I know Reggie Jackson was very critical of Coors Field. He called it a bandstand.
Oh yeah.
And listen, can you hit it out of here? I can hit it out of here now. I was back in my time. I could hit it over into the parking lot. Come on.
if you serve up enough of them, I probably could get close to the fence. I probably wouldn't hit it out, but I could get. Maybe I could get close to the fence.
Yeah. One thing I kind of surprised myself with when I was working down there in spare time, and the batting cage thing.
Yeah.
Where you get in there, and I can actually switch. I can switch it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know I could do that.
I didn't.
Actually, I had pretty damn good from the left side too. It's like, damn, I wish I knew this when I was in position to actually play.
Yeah, I tried to hit left-handed once. It felt so awkward.
I think like when I was going, I was actually paying a little more attention to the ball. So it actually connected a little more from the left side than it is from the right. Right is just a little bit more instinctive. The left. Okay, now it's a little more careful.
Yeah. Actually, in that in Golden Acres Park down in Longmont, they actually have a batting cage, which is actually really cool.
Yeah.
Softball fields, batting cage.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, it's a really nice park down there.
There's a bunch of batting. It's along Hampton, due south of it's like got to have some fun with those one time when got there with my nephew one time.
Yeah, but the other thing the guy had on Letterman,
I don't know if I could do anything now. It's stupid, but
he had a couple breath mints. He says, "Yeah, the retsin in him. If you hit him with a hammer, it'll make a spark." So of course Letterman has the hammer. He goes whack, nothing.
Yeah,
whack, nothing.
Yeah.
Then he says, "What about what? Now, what are you doing with the Twinkies?" He goes, "The Twinkies, the cream filling is actually beef fat." So he gets a hammer. Gets a hammer, hits the Twinkie.
Splat.
That was back when Letterman was.
Yeah.
I finally figured out what out what it is about late night TV. Late night TV used to be unpredictable.
Yeah, especially when Letterman.
Even Carson had an unpredictability about it.
Oh God, did I? Because I've got the old one with Dom DeLuise, Burt Reynolds, Art Carney. I forgot about was it the egg fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Letterman.
I think I remember watching that live back in the day. I think we were on vacation. And just happened to be in the hotel watching this insanity.
Letterman had the wall of Velcro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put big bags of Rice Krispies on himself. Got a big clear bowl. And they poured milk on him.
Yeah.
He had threw watermelons because people would always say about, Letterman, Letterman. They act like he's some sort of sophisticated elder statesman. This is the guy that threw watermelons off a building.
Yeah, I just take up the top of the and okay.
Then he threw
in super slow motion.
Then one of the funny things was he threw a stuffed Wile E. Coyote off of the building. He goes, "Of course, we'd love to recreate a classic cartoon. Just threw Wile E. Coyote off." He landed face up. It was hysterical. Oh God! Like I said, it was just so unpredictable. Late night TV, and that's what I really miss about it. All these new shows like Jimmy Fallon is scripted.
Yeah, and
Jimmy Kimmel, kind of like Letterman-esque, but
Kimmel, I don't know. Somehow he surrendered his balls when he got his own show. Because when he was doing the Man Show, it's like, yeah, okay, if you're basing on just on what's on the Man Show, yeah, it'd be great for his own show. But that's like, what the hell happened to you?
Yeah, he had to go mainstream for the audience.
Yeah, when mainstream is like going off a cliff now. Mainstream's not what you think it is, okay?
Someone said about Letterman. He goes, "Oh yeah, I don't like when I used to watch it really." I used to watch it pretty regularly when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, like when I was going to high school, and everybody knew that I was the one guy who would stay up late and watch Letterman. That was my thing. Oh yeah, Letterman's on. Hey Rob, I was up watching Letterman. What are you, Rob? You're tired. Like, why are you always? I was up watching Letterman.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
you
have the Saturday specials, which are great.
Yeah.
And just like I said, when you heard that, that Letterman theme, like you knew something. You, even with the CBS show, you knew you were going to see something unusual. And I was watching the night Drew Barrymore flashed him.
Yeah.
Which she had a great rack.
Yeah. Not bad. Yeah. It's like just the fact that he saw it. And he's like, "What the?"
I remember the.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, even Letterman wasn't expecting that.
No, he's just dancing. What the?
Yeah, but oh God, but I
like when he grown the beard while he was off for a while, and then came back. Before they came out, puts on the rain jacket and hat and does a live commercial for Gorton's fish sticks. Trust the Gorton's fish. That's a guy, right? Then they come out, shave the beard off.
Yeah, they used to do
one last thing out of it.
Like I said, when he sent Larry Bud Melman to Mexico.
Yeah.
And he was confused. Larry Bud Melman, he didn't know what oh, Dave, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. So I mean, and he said, yeah, and they had the printer that would print out an image off over the phone. I'm like, yeah, how we do that now on a regular basis. But it's like I said, Saturday Night Live was unpredictable.
Yeah.
Like I said, you watched late night TV because it was just out of the ordinary. You got to see things. Yeah. There was a Tonight Show. I remember Johnny Carson with Siskel and Ebert. And they had Chevy Chase on the same show.
Yeah.
And Chase was doing the bit that he was mimicking what they were saying.
Yeah.
And and they knew it. They knew it. They just didn't want to look over. Roger Ebert didn't want to look over at him because he was bad mouthing his new movie. I can't remember what movie. Like, Chevy Chase. Yeah.
And doing
there was
the same thing when Jane Curtin would come on and do a thing, and he's like,
yeah. There was a time where Chevy Chase was like the biggest like comedy box office.
Yeah.
Like he was in every big comedy.
He did. He was good in Fletch. I like that.
Yeah. He was good in Fletch. He was in Vacation. He was in. He was in. He was in a bunch of movies.
I know they did that Vacation movie lately. You know, a recent one, the last one they did.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't doing Clark. He was just doing old Chevy Chase pratfall stuff. Because Clark Griswold didn't do that shit back in the day. That was just
Yeah, it's just like now every year now Christmas Vacation is a staple. Staples is holiday viewing. And I tell people that all the time. He goes, if you make a movie that is based around Christmas, has something to do tangentially with Christmas.
Yeah.
Or if you write a good Christmas song, it will pay for itself.
Yeah.
Freaking.
Yeah, but the original Vacation, though, is like the crowning moment of that movie. And let's just go home with that. You know what I think? I think you're all fucked in the head. We're not going back. No, we're on a quest. It's a quest for fun.
One pilgrims to see a moose.
Yeah.
Have you ever read?
No, we're not going back now. We've gone too far.
Have you ever read the original short story?
I've heard about it. I think,
Well, at the end, the father shoots Walt Disney and goes to prison. It's actually, it's John Hughes. John Hughes wrote the original short story, Vacation 58 or 57.
Oh boy.
Which appeared first in National Lampoon magazine.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good. I've read it.
I've read a few National Lampoon stories. There's one of them actually as a Star Trek one. There's one where the entire crew has gone totally insane and sex crazy except for Kirk, and wondering what the and the dream is like Spock finally getting the only solution is to and start eating out Nurse Chapel's pussy. And
that sounds about right.
And then wake up and Gene Roddenberry woke up and start to realize he'd taken several bites out of his pillow.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds about right for National Lampoon. God, I was born too late. I could have been writing for them.
Yeah, and there's stories like My Vagina, about a guy who wakes up and suddenly he's got a, he's got a vagina. Okay, well, then that leads to things like, your best friend. Well, hey, let's give it a shot. It's like, that sort of thing. It's like, no. It's like, what the hell is this? Look, guys, think about this stuff, but normally it never goes beyond a thought experiment.
Yeah.
You might write it down in a short story for National Lampoon. but you never actually try and follow through with it. Okay, and it's always mechanical. What would it be like to have that? But you don't go into the whole mindset of having grown up with this shit.
Yeah. Oh God, I was trying to come up with a name for because I wanted to start a YouTube channel just like devoted to to myself, my friend Dave Sheehan, and my funny buddy Jake. Jake is hysterical. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jake, if I ever introduce you to Jake Bentley, plant yourself there because he is. Yeah, I can't remember. We were all talking about, but he does a lot of fighting. We were all the comedian buddies of mine.
Yeah.
I was trying to come up with a name like the only something nation. Something nation or something I don't know, comedy nation, something. I was like, we were spitballing ideas, like workshopping ideas, like we couldn't come up with anything. So we'll work on it later.
Yeah.
Rename one of my channels or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But something like Nation, Mad Nation, and or like something Nation.
Yeah.
Like I said, God, I mean, like I said, if I was born too late, I should have been writing for National Lampoon magazine.
I remember I did read a bio on Doug Kinney. Back when I still sit down and read a book, but like there was one of his biography, and some of the shit they would.
If you get a chance to watch, there's two things. There's the movie, The Stupid and Futile Gesture.
I do have that downloaded.
Okay, but there's another one called Brilliant Stoned. I can't remember. It's a documentary about National Lampoon magazine, which is also very interesting.
I think you cut off there.
Well, there's a documentary about National Lampoon magazine, which is very interesting as well.
While we're waiting for him to come back, I do remember one gag in a National Lampoon with that little photo thing of the comic strip, but there's a photo of a girl. And some gal, talking about, okay, drink a sip of this wine, take this pill, drink this doobie. It's like, I made myself completely sober.
All right, am I back? Can you hear me? Hello.
Well, all right, there we go.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was saying, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
I was saying there's a documentary about National Lampoon magazine, which is actually very good. It's called Brilliant Stone, Drunk, Brilliant Stone, Dead, I think it's called.
Let's see. By chance, is it on YouTube?
It's
and will I have to do it on my phone because nothing's working on the computer? I'm gonna do it on the phone because nothing working on the computer. Get off it.
Is that the name of it? Drunk, Stone, Brilliant, Dead. Yeah. The story of the National Lampoon.
All right. Let's see.
A lot of people upload those documentaries to YouTube.
There we go.
Okay. It is on YouTube as a.
Here we are. Yeah.
Okay.
YouTube movies and TVs. Hour 34 minutes. Yeah.
You can. Well, there's. Oh, Up in Smoke is free with ads. Beavis and Butthead is free with ads.
Buy or rent. Okay. Yeah, but there's a.
You can. Yeah. You can the sources I have, you can watch it easily.
Yeah, I can do a brief sojourn of the high seas. Yo. That's only 10 years old. It's a Showtime documentary. There's Belushi. What? Okay. Okay, this was an interesting thing. I guess we could
just
watch it in VR goggles and kind of see it in 3D. Yeah.
Tell me about National Lampoon. Why do you think it's so popular? Well, it's designed to entertain a fairly well-off audience of nobodies. Oh God. Well, like back then, you had what? You had Mad Magazine, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had National Lampoon.
Yeah.
You also had didn't you have Cracked?
Cracked was for
You also had The Onion.
Yeah.
Because The Onion was still a legit newspaper.
Yeah, it's still different little
Yeah.
outposts here and there.
You also, if you're really kind of uppity, you had The New Yorker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like the joke that Brian tells about The New Yorker. He goes, he goes, don't you have a bathroom here? Like, oh, nobody at The New Yorker has an anus.
Here we go.
But you had, and you also had you had jokes and comedy material printed in Playboy and Esquire and that kind of stuff. I love the thing after Doug Kenny and his partner Henry Beard, they got rejected by one of them because you look like the type of people that commute in from Westport, Connecticut by station wagon. we don't want anything to do with you. Okay. And you see, he grew up in a sort of, I wouldn't say affluent family, but his father was a tennis pro and who taught tennis at a country club, and he never really got their approval, his parents' approval. They always thought, oh well, what are you doing? You should want to law school. You're wasting your time writing your little joke books, which is, and I've often said that, hey, when I was going to school, he goes, oh well, you think you're funny? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Got my moments.
Not all the time, but I tried being serious. Can't you be serious once? I tried being serious. Everybody laughed at me.
Yeah.
And I would say, well, you treat everything as a joke. Well, what if that's my true talent? Is being, as I said, yeah. In school, they tell you if you're good with numbers and math, they call you a genius. If you're good at art, they call you gifted. If you're good at music, they call you talented. If you're good at sports, you're athletic. If you're good at making people laugh, you're a disruption.
Yeah. Okay, let's pull that out of there.
like Rick Sanchez says. Rick Sanchez says, "The thing about school, Morty, it's not a place for smart people."
Yeah.
You sit in the back of a class, they tell you 2 and 2 is 4. Give you a carton of milk and give you a piece of paper so you can take a dump.
Here we go. Internet Archive.
Where you look it up now?
I'm looking it up. Yeah, all right. Here's the torrent. Okay. Download that.
Okie dokie.
Granted, my connection's been kind of dodgy lately, as evidenced by the rather sporadic action of the game today. Put it in downloads.
Like I said, I turned off that one setting. Unfortunately, my computer's working much better.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that's possible. I have theories, but I'm not a programmer, so.
Okay.
And it must stream hard drive data into a dump file.
Okay, now let's see where we're going to put this.
I've actually gotten a few pretty good things off of Internet Archive.
Yeah, it's good as full as any. Okay.
That's what it's for. It's a repository of information.
Yeah. Amazing things you can find in the Wayback Machine. I was doing my little "This Is Your Life" Indigo White thing. It's like a lot of stuff came from. It's like, yeah, this was her original website. A lot of the pictures are gone, and someone else has gotten the claim, so don't try looking up for real. But trust me, you can find it if you look far enough, and it's like, this has been a very strange life for this girl.
I found it. Revelation. PJ O'Rourke was actually wrote, and he was editor in chief of National Lampoon.
Yeah.
Actually, he's in the movie too. Stupid and Futile Gesture.
Yeah.
He worked with Doug Kenny on the high school yearbook.
Yeah. That's kind of, when he's like, why he makes such a hard turn at the one, because he saw it from the inside. It's like, no, this is a problem.
He said, he said, then you wonder why Nixon the way he was, because he went to high school.
Yeah.
This is where it all starts here, man.
Oh, just sit. Bill Murray was on. Joe Rogan.
I didn't see that.
Well, after reading Bob Woodward's book on Belushi,
yeah,
it's like, this is now. Oh my God, Nixon might have been framed. Because he's going to take this with someone I know. It's like, what the hell did he do to Nixon? They framed his ass.
Oh God! Now seeing your picture there, I just saw. I was at Goodwill Saturday looking for tools, and I saw they had a ring light for $8. I should have picked it up. Is that still a thing? The ring lights?
Unfortunately, I just don't like the way it affected. That's why I got a reading lamp bouncing against the wall over here, or I'll have the overhead lights on. Because the ring light is just sort of flat. It's like, you look like you're getting a mugshot. Okay.
That's the worst things I could have had.
Yeah.
It's starting to get late over here. I think I'm gonna call it a night.
And we've been at it for almost 3 hours.
Not bad. Not interesting.
Yeah, not bad. It's a long one for me, but I don't want to go too much longer because it's like, nope, we're not going to get any more repeats here. So.
Alrighty.
My channel thrives on repeats because again, 9 people here. That's a large crowd for me. So.
All right, kids.
All right.
We'll talk to you later.
All right. Talk to you later, and call if you get work.